It is 12 noon. Welcome back. Hour number 3 begins. We're live at Social Taco. Come on by and see us. We'll be here until 2 o'clock as Taco Terrace getting filled up. A lot of dignitaries, a lot of listeners stopping by, having lunch. Also, it is the listener Christmas party going on as we speak. Many of them brought their own homemade desserts that they have on a dessert table. Molly, you enjoyed a bite of some of BB's fudge, and you said it was outstanding.
Oh, yes, it's amazing.
I have not had a chance to do that. So Conrad will be coming out here in just a little bit. He'll be able to partake in the festivities, just like the Phillip Rivers family is right now, because it's happened. He has been signed by the Indianapolis Colts, the 44-year-old grandfather who turned 44 yesterday. The high school football coach from Fairhope, Alabama, is going back to the show, Landrum. He has signed with the Colts.
That's awesome. 44 years young.
44.
Do you think he takes a snap?
Why would he not? I'm not saying that like being a smart aleck towards you. I'm just saying if I'm Phillip Rivers, I'm not going back to be somebody's backup.
Right.
Like, if you want me, I'm coming to play.
And there had to have been conversations like, hey, you still got it? Like, yeah. I throw the rotation, the circuit every morning. Who knows?
Hey, remember how good Joe Flacco was last year? At the end of it, I know he's a few years younger, but he absolutely tore it up for the Browns for a little bit.
Yeah.
So Phillip Rivers has not played since the COVID year. 2020. Remember that?
Well, it's really been that. Yeah, I guess if the Hall of Fame thing you were talking about, that's cool. It feels like it was only a year or two ago.
Yeah, and if those missed that at the beginning of the show when we were talking about this, if he takes one snap, if he officially gets in the game and takes a snap, then his 5-year clock immediately restarts for him to be in the National Football League Hall of Fame. And he's already a semifinalist for 2026.
Well, it's already cool that your coach is Phillip Rivers if you're there at St. Michael's, but how cool is it that now your coach, Phillip Rivers, is suiting up and taking a snap in an NFL game? That's wild. I'm pulling for him. Hope he does well.
So just listen to this. So we all remember when Andrew Luck retired, and that was a big surprise. Since then, you've had Jacoby Brissett, Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, Sam Ellinger, Nick Foles, Gardner Minshew, Anthony Richardson, Joe Flacco, and Daniel Jones.
Wow.
Those are your quarterbacks in the last 6 years.
That is that list
startling.
Is almost like the Cleveland Browns list of quarterbacks.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Man.
Phillip Rivers was the best of them, too.
Yep. Check out the Finnick beginning tomorrow, Wednesday, all the way through Monday Night Football. They had a great night of Monday Night Football last night at the Finnick, but it all begins Wednesday through Friday. Acoustic music, 5:30 to 8 on Friday. They got bands that will be playing, but whether it's college football, the bowl season, the college football playoff, the NFL that I just mentioned, college basketball, you get the video boards, the wall-to-wall screens, and an outstanding menu to choose from there at the Finnick. 1630 2nd Avenue South. They'll have a big weekend planned, and, of course, the college football playoff, all kinds of drink specials. Ask your bartender about that. But the shareables, from the stacked burgers to the award-winning wood-fired sandwiches, the great wings, the fork and knife. They cut their own steaks, fresh Gulf seafood. 1630 2nd Avenue South, the Finnick near Railroad Park.
So it's interesting, just kind of wrapping up the conversation about Phillip Rivers signing with the Indianapolis Colts, is that this weekend, if he gets on the field and he plays, he's playing the Seattle Seahawks. That defense hasn't allowed a touchdown in the last 2 games. It's like, welcome back. Welcome back to the wonderful National Football League.
I think the Seahawks, in honor of that, should start Jalen Milroe.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
To kind of equal it out?
Yeah, even out the playing field a little bit, yeah. At least for the first half. Then we'll see how Phillip looks.
Yeah. It's very interesting. We listened to a little bit of Pete Babakwa earlier when he was talking about how irritated Notre Dame still is. He also said this. He said, we were shocked, mystified by what happened Sunday. We had one of the most dominating 10-game runs in the history of college football. Now, I will admit that I have been consuming a lot of SEC football over the course of that 10 weeks. Let's go over that historic 10-week run that the athletics director at Notre Dame is talking about. Once again, the quote, "We were shocked, mystified by what happened on Sunday. We're one of the most dominant 10-game runs in the history of college football." Here we go. Ready? They beat Purdue, who finished 2-10. They beat Arkansas, who went 2-10. They played Boise State, which is a non-Power 4.
The team that lost to South Florida starts the season.
Yeah. Then they played NC State, who finished 7-5. Then you had USC. Do you have his? No.
Okay, I'll give you that one. USC.
Conrad.
That was a good win.
Okay. All right. Boston College finished 2-10. Then they played Navy, a non-Power 4. Then they played Pitt, 8-4.
At Pitt was a good win.
Syracuse 3-9. Stanford 4-8. So why is he talking about this is one of the most dominant 10-game runs in the history of college football when you played three teams that were 2-10?
Margin of victory, Pat. He mentioned 70 points one time. Putting up 70 points on Syracuse, that was one of the selling points, one of the bullet points on there. We deserve to be in. No, I'm with you. And do I believe that Notre Dame was playing really good football at the end of the season? Yes, I do. And if you took out James Madison, you put Notre Dame in that field, would have absolutely no issue. Or you could, to be honest, if you took out Miami and you put Notre Dame in, I would have no issue with Notre Dame being one of those teams in college football playoff. But it is what it is.
I just have a problem with him making that statement. I agree with you. I'm not saying that Notre Dame was not worthy of being in the CFP, but when you talk about in the history of football, a dominant 10-game run when you had 3 of those wins against teams that went 2-10, that's ridiculous. That's an absurd statement by a man that is educated.
Well, you look at it, having those two teams, Miami and Texas A&M, both losses by close margins, but both of those teams being in the college football playoff, and then it looks like, all right, well, after you got rid of your real test, then that's when you dominated that part of the schedule. I understand it. But you're right. I don't understand the, hey, this is our resume. Oh, my goodness. It's better than anybody else's.
All you got to do is don't give – I mean, listen, if you're going to give the Group of 5 access, give the Group of 5 access if they're a top 15 team. You know? Just because you eliminated 2 really good football teams like BYU and Notre Dame of playing in the college football playoff by giving those.
Well,
two
let's push it.
schools.
Let's push it out to 16, which I'm a fan of.
I don't have a problem with that either.
And let's see how many more times we run into this, because I realize the argument's going to be, well, 17 and 18, but just go to the current top 15 or the top 16 right now in college football, and then after that, and you tell me if that group from 17 on doesn't look drastically different than the teams ahead of them.
Yeah.
Because it does. When you start getting into the late teens as far as rankings, we're talking about what? 3 lost football teams?
Mm-hmm.
Final poll, we've seen 4 lost football teams in some years.
Yep.
Let's do it at 16.
I think 16 is a good number.
Well, see, my thing is like, okay, so this year then you're arguing over, USC, Arizona, and Utah.
Yeah,
Right.
There's not going to be the fervor of
No.
that.
No. Not at all.
I don't know. Arizona's game control.
That's you lost me when they started doing that crap.
Well, the thing is that's concerning is the explanation that you get from Hunter Yurchek, and now it's for people whose worst fears about what's being discussed or how they're discussing things, in the College Football Playoff Committee room, those came true. When he went and he gave you the explanation of how they arrived at Miami being in and Notre Dame not being in.
Yeah.
They might have got it right, but if this is really the rationale or the process in which you're arriving at these, it's crazy. It's insane to think that a group of people who are highly respected, who have been chosen for this position, that you could arrive at that. I have a hard time believing that everybody in that room, that was the thought process. I can only hope that Hunter Yurachek just screwed it up in the way that he presented it. Or maybe he made it up on the fly.
Do you think if they ever made the members of the committee how they officially voted, if they made those public, do you think that would matter to people, or do you think you just wouldn't get people on the committee anymore because their vote became public?
Probably just not being on the committee anymore.
I think you would have a really hard time trying to get people to go through the process. It is a lengthy process. I mean, we've talked to Coach Bill Clark was contacted a few years back about the potential of being on the College Football Playoff Committee, and he was telling me and Landrum that it was going to be a very, very large time commitment. And then he would have to spend some time flying back and forth to Grapevine Falls, Texas, and not to mention the fact that we all love watching college football, but you also have a situation where there are different people on that committee. They will have different conferences that they pretty much are in charge of in regards to what they watch, and then they become the so-called advocate for that conference when you're in the room. Obviously, someone from the SEC can't be talking about the SEC. They are assigned another conference or a non-Power 4 league to look at.
If I'm a sitting AD and I'm a Hunter Yurachek or a Boo Corrigan or a Ward Manuel or any of the other past guys that we've had, and they ask me, will you be the chair? I say no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the spokesperson on Tuesday nights for you guys.
I'm not going to be the human pinata.
No, because this is hurt Hunter Yurachek. I think his professional reputation has now been damaged. I do.
I think it was pretty damaged anyway on the bad football coaches that he had hired.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but now
nationally everybody looks at it.
Didn't know? Yeah. I don't think it's helped him one bit.
The Broyles Award, they have named their finalists. This is kind of obviously award season. Here are the coaches that are up for the winning award for the Broyles, which is the top assistant in college football. It's Georgia's Mike Bobo, Indiana's DC Bryant Haynes, Miami DC Corey Heatherman, Ohio State's DC Matt Patricia, or Texas Tech DC Shill Wood. So those are your candidates for the Broyles Award. What do all those guys have in common?
They teach people to tackle.
All of them are in the college football playoff.
Defense wins them. That's what I've been told.
1 OC and 4 DCs. Bobo is the only offensive-minded coach on there.
Georgia fans love that.
Yeah.
They love
Yeah,
that.
he had a good plan the other night.
Yeah.
No,
all they've done is won back-to-back conference championships. But he's terrible.
First time in like 45 years.
That's what you'll hear from some. He's terrible. Mike Bobo. He's awful. Look at that archaic offense that they run. It's so bad.
They win football.
Yeah.
The holiday sales event at Courtesy GMC is going on right now, and if you've been waiting for the right time to buy, well, now is the time. How big is these savings? It's big. Try up to $15,000 off MSRP on Sierras that are in stock, and they've got over 100 to choose from. They're on their 9.5-acre lot. AT4s, Denali's, SLTs, you name it, they've got it on the lot. They are ready to roll. If you're more of an SUV person, Courtesy GMC has you covered there too. You can save thousands on brand new Yukons, Terrains, and Acadias. And when you buy a new GMC at Courtesy, it comes with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. That's peace of mind that will give you the long haul of great choices and a great vehicle there at Courtesy GMC. Shop the huge selection today. You can check them out online at courtesybirmingham.com. Go by and see them off of exit 32, Highway I-459. Courtesy GMC, where the holiday sales event is on and the savings are real. We will roll on this Christmas party edition of Three Man Front live from Social Taco on Jaws. It is 12:19 here on Jocks. We're live at Social Taco. Just a festive atmosphere. It always is, but always happy to be joined now by our next guest, Gerald Watkins from the Friends of Rickwood joins us here. And you've come up and you've brought gifts. You didn't have to bring gifts, but we do appreciate that.
Glad to. You guys have been really great to us, and it's the least we can do. Thank you. Thank you for your friendship, and thank you for sharing the good word about Rickwood Field.
Well, listen, you and Mike Newton, you guys came by our little food drive we had a couple weeks, and you guys donated some prizes, and they went to some really happy baseball fans, and we gave over 1,000 pounds of food to the Central Alabama Food Bank.
That's incredible.
So you guys,
great work.
You guys helped us out a lot. Now I know we're sitting here. I know the winter meetings are going on. I've been tuned in every night at the Major League Baseball Network, watching what's going on down in Orlando today. Kyle Schwarber gets a 5-year deal, $150 million. Edwin Diaz just signs a 3-year, $60-something million contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers. So I'm keeping my eye on it during all this college football playoff talk. But I know there's no downtime for you guys at Rickwood Field. You guys are already looking at the calendar for 2026.
Yes, we are, Pat. We are just now thinking about the events we have coming up, the big events we have starting in May. We have the SWAC tournament, and that's going to be super. This will be our second year to have it. And then following that, 2 days later, we'll have the Rickwood game when the Barons come, and the Barons will be playing the Blue Wahoos. They'll be wearing old uniforms. That'll be great. And then when we get into July, it's really heavy travel ball. But before that, on Juneteenth, we'll have the East-West Classic again.
Awesome.
A production of Major League Baseball, which will be retired players like C.C. Sabathia and Andrew Jones, and a host of others. And that was a really fun event last year. It was curtailed a great deal by rain, as you may remember, but this year we're hoping for good weather and a really great crowd. And after that, we'll have more travel ball, and then when September rolls around, we'll have our Savannah Bananas franchise bringing in the Coconuts and the Clowns, and that'll be a 2-day event. And don't call me for tickets, or don't call Mike or Joe or anybody else. Go on the Bananas website, and they'll take care of you there. And then we've got a few other things cooking. We have our home run derby. Again, it'll be the
hopefully no rain. I know the last couple of years the weather just has not cooperated.
Yeah, it doesn't rain for 60 days, and then it rains the day of our home run derby. But that's the way it works. But we'll get it in, and we're working right now to try to put some big names in there, and I'm sure I'll let you guys know when we know who's coming.
And I know the last time you were up here with me in Landrum, you were telling us some potential exciting things that may be in the works. And I'm not putting you on the spot. If you could talk about it, great. If not, I completely respect that. But I understand that there are plenty of SEC schools that have shown interest in potentially playing at Rickwood Field this upcoming season.
Well, I don't know about this coming season, but in February of 27, it's a very, very good chance we're going to have a series with the University of Missouri.
Oh, the Tigers.
And they would bring in Marist College from New York, and a 3-game series. We're finalizing details, but the date has already been picked, and they're really looking forward to it. So we hope that that's a stepping stone to us maybe getting some more SEC games, because SEC is the top of the list when it comes to so many sports. But to have an SEC game at Rickwood Field is going to be big time.
Gerald, when I remember you had us out the last literally days before it was closed down and the refurbishment started by Major League Baseball. As you look back to that final few days before you guys closed it down the way the park used to be and where the park currently is, did you envision it to be this grand and be able to hold on to, I guess, some of the ghosts of the past that was there present before they started moving dirt?
Well, we had hoped so. We had hoped that the construction and the planning would fit into the historical vibe that we try to keep,
Yeah.
and it worked out really well. And when people come now, they look out there and they see that spectacular green field, and that's all they care about. They look at the playing surface. Everything else is secondary to that, but that beautiful green field is what draws people to Rickwood Field.
And I assume, based on the fact that Major League Baseball continues to come back here and putting events at Rickwood Field, that they are extremely pleased with you guys and the custodial work that you guys do each and every day.
Yeah, they are. We talk to them on a monthly basis about what's coming up and the future, and we don't have any plans for another MLB game at this point in time. We hope it'll happen again. But as you know, Pat, next year they're going back to the Field of Dreams, and then we all are afraid there's going to be a strike or a lockout in 27. So I think everything's on hold as far as an off-site game like they did in 2024. We'll wait and see, but we've got the product there. The field is being monitored and maintained by their folks. So everything is set. If they decide to come back, it'll be plug and play.
I know it probably might get old for some people, and I know it doesn't get old for people like you and Mike and Joe DeLeonard and so many of the great people that are part of the Friends of Rickwood. But being able to just see people from all over the country and around the world to stop at Rickwood just to be able to get a tour and just to be able to bring their kids, or just to, kind of maybe capture something from their youth to be able to come back and walk the hallowed grounds. Does it still blow you away, just the response from people?
It does. And I'll tell you this, since I talked to you last, we had our first visitor ever from Kathmandu, Nepal.
Are you serious?
Believe it or not, yeah. And they came in last week, a couple, and they didn't know anything about baseball, but they came to Birmingham to do some touring, and someone told them they have to go to Rickwood Field.
That's amazing.
And it was really cool. And also, we have now hit all 50 states. So we continue to have tourists. Even in this downtime, we'll have guests come in every day. And I will do the shameless plug part. You can come and do your Christmas shopping at Rickwood Field.
Yes,
we
you
have
can.
A brand new shipment of hoodies just arrived, brand new shipment of caps. And we're there every day from 10 to 4 weekdays. So if you want to come by and pick up a couple of hoodies for Christmas or caps or whatever, we're there. And all you got to do is drive in.
Oh, listen, that is fantastic. Well, as you sit there and you look at everything that's on that calendar for 2026, do you have any other room to kind of shoehorn something in? I mean, is there always the possibility?
Well, it's really tight until the end of July.
Okay.
Because we're packed with travel ball. When Perfect Game comes in, and some of the smaller groups as well, they take up all of the dates, and that's great for us because it's revenue and it gets people in the ballpark, and it allows us to share our story with people from all over the country. And we love travel ball. And once that's over, when we get to August, we've got some free time in August and early September, but there's some things in the works now that could pop up. But for the most part, we're packed, and it's a great problem to have. We don't have to worry about using the park.
Yeah.
If anything, we have to worry about overuse, and we have to monitor how many games are being played and things like that. And that's a great problem to have.
I know a lot of people, especially if you grew up in Birmingham, you might take advantage of the opportunity to get by and go see Rickwood. But if you're a baseball fan and you look around the country, Gerald, it is sad because so many of the old venues, I just read a couple weeks ago, I guess they're finally taking out Chattanooga Stadium.
Right.
That, they had tried to refurbish, and UT Chattanooga was trying to do something with it, and now I think they're just going to level it and do something there. That was a beautiful old ballpark from the Southern League. So, I mean, we're very fortunate to have Rickwood and to have people like you in charge of it to make sure that generations to come will have an opportunity to enjoy it.
Well, it's fun for me, and it's fun for Mike and Joe and all the other members of the board of directors, and for friends like you and Landrum and your staff, just to be a part of what we're doing and what we're able to share for the future. is part of what appeals to us, not just today, but being able to know that the ballpark's going to be there for the future. The young guys that are playing there now will be able to bring their kids back, and let's just continue to roll on.
Well, I'm hoping that in a couple years, Major League Baseball will come back for a game. Maybe Landrum's Atlanta Braves will come over and play a game. But in case there's never another Major League Baseball game, I'm happy to say that the St. Louis Cardinals got out of there with a win.
That's right. That was a fun time, and the Cardinals and their fans were great.
Yes, they were.
And we
The
look
best
forward.
fans in baseball.
Absolutely. When I went to a game in St. Louis, I was treated like gold.
That's
and,
right. That's the way we treat people in the Midwest.
As Pat is heckling the GM as he walks from his priority seating.
No, it was not the GM. It was the
president.
owner. It was the owner.
Okay.
I had an idea or two that I wanted to pass along about the trade deadline coming up, and
well, I will tell you, I already have on my calendar to go to Cooperstown when Albert Pujols goes in a couple of years. So the place that I rent up there, I have room for one more. So if you want to go.
Now, listen, don't make that invitation if it's not available. Okay.
It's available.
Okay. Just making sure.
And Landrum wants to come. Landrum this year, we might get lucky and get Andrew Jones. Who knows?
That would be great.
Hey, by the way, I'm as
Jones.
irritated as anybody that Dale Murphy did not get in this week. That's come on, people. What are they doing?
That was a gut punch for me. I know there's some people out there that think that his career kind of cratered at the end and he didn't make the 400 home run mark and all that. But Dale Murphy was baseball.
You better believe it.
And
he was the reason
so
we
many
went to
people,
Braves games.
For so many people. And it seemed like, for me, Landrum, I don't know about you, and I can look back, every time I went to a Braves game, Dale Murphy hit a home run. And it's like I was his good luck charm or something.
And
but
he was a good center fielder too. A lot of people,
Golden Glover, yeah.
A lot of people want to look at his offensive stats. You don't want to look at his defense. His defense
started
was good.
as a catcher.
Yeah,
That's right. And such a good guy and an ambassador for baseball and the Braves. And to me, again, it felt like a gut punch. I sat there waiting on that announcement, hoping it would get in. And just to me, it was a real sad day.
It was. No, I agree. Well, it's never a sad day when Gerald stops by and sees us. And, again, happy holidays, Gerald, to you and your crew. And, like you said, brand new merchandise has come in, and he's shared some of it with us. 10 to 4, Monday through Friday. Get by there and pick up some Christmas gifts.
Love to see you.
I've got an idea for the gift shop for people to do their Christmas shopping. You take some game-worn stockings for people to hang by their chimney with care.
I'll work on that. I don't know about this year, but I'll work on that for the future.
It's an idea.
It is. And
Not a bad idea.
Ideas are great.
Yeah. And they're also most of the time free.
But most of the time when somebody brings an idea to me, Landrum, I ask them to follow up so you can collect those game-used socks and you can wash them or whatever, and we'll nail them up next year.
Yes. Very much so.
These were worn by Gary Snow in a night of bowling. Whatever.
That would be fun.
In our league bowling.
Gerald, always great to see you.
Thank you guys again, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. That is Gerald Watkins from Rickwood. The Friends of Rickwood just do a tremendous job there at Rickwood Field. More three-man front here at Social Taco. It's always a great time when you have Gerald Watkins, Joe DeLeonard, Mike Newton, those guys stop by to see us.
So you had a couple from Nepal where they have Everest,
Yeah,
but comes over here and wants to see Rickwood.
amazing.
Hello.
It's just, and it's so cool that granted, as you mentioned, Major League Baseball is going back to Iowa this year for the Field of Dreams game. Unfortunately, we all anticipate there's going to be a labor shutdown in 2027 with Major League Baseball. So I guess the earliest you potentially could get a game back at Rickwood be 2028. But I would really, man, that would be so cool if the Braves could come over here to play.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that because of you. I just think because of the relationship that the Braves have had with the city of Birmingham and continue to have, I think that would be a great relationship.
I mean, can it be partly because of me?
What can be all for you if you want?
We're paying up. We get the Braves back.
See, I had a perfect scenario because since the A's are a vagabond team playing in Sacramento,
Yeah.
why couldn't, when the A's and the Braves played, that they play at Rickwood as opposed to playing at the little podunk Sacramento
Community
softball
Chamber of
field?
Commerce Civic Club
Yeah, whatever they play in.
Stadium.
Yeah.
It's actually not too bad of a stadium.
Well, I mean, they had to do the upgrades for the Major League Baseball Players Association, but
How about Kyle Schwarber? Congratulations, Phillies. I like Kyle Schwarber now. I hate it when he hits bombs against my Braves. But learning more about Kyle Schwarber last year and stepping up while we were at SEC Media Days in bonus time and hitting those home runs.
yes, that was huge. That was huge for our senior circuit National League to take home the home run derby.
5 years, $150 million.
Yeah, that was huge.
Lead off and hit home runs and strike out.
So he grew up outside of Cincinnati, went to Indiana, and then he obviously started his career with the Chicago Cubbies.
Good
So-
for the Cubs.
Yeah. So now he's an even richer man than he was before.
You think the Cardinals way too early? You think the Cardinals make the playoffs?
Oh, you're just trying to piss me off, right?
Maybe.
Is that what you're doing?
You guys have lost a little bit here.
We better be like shedding some folks. Like I'm tired of this reset already. I could not be like a fan of the Colorado Rockies or somebody like that.
Or the Braves last year. It was tough.
It's just yeah, we're supposed to be shedding some guys here in the next 24, 48 hours, hopefully. And
I just need the Braves stay healthy. Can we get a season where we don't? Man, it's been a tough go.
it was interesting. Chuck Dunlap, who does an outstanding job at the Southeastern Conference
Yes, he does.
office, he tweeted out about an hour ago. It's the final metrics for the strength of schedule rankings. The number one team in America in the final strength of schedule rankings was the Wisconsin Badgers. They had the toughest schedule in America. Got the Big Ten. They had to go to Tuscaloosa, play Bama. Pretty tough. The Florida Gators came in at number 2, followed by Purdue, UCLA, Arkansas, and looky there, a team that made the college football playoff from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The Alabama Crimson Tide came in, followed then by Texas, South Carolina, Kentucky, LSU, Auburn. Do you sense a theme developing here? What's your name? Landrum?
It's Landrum.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Landrum. After Auburn, you have Oklahoma, Mississippi State, then Syracuse, Iowa, A&M, Penn State, Georgia, Oregon, Michigan State, Rutgers, BYU, Illinois, Stanford, Vanderbilt.
This
For
Wisconsin
some reason,
schedule is so nasty.
but for some reason, I don't see Notre Dame listed on here.
They're not on there, Pat.
But I thought they had the greatest 10-game run in the history of college football, according to their athletics director.
It was dominant, Pat. It was dominant.
Go over that Wisconsin schedule.
It's not the team you play. It's how bad you beat the team you play.
I got you.
That's what we're going by now. Who'd you say?
No, don't you have Wisconsin?
Yeah, I
pulled
got
up?
Wisconsin. They opened up versus Miami of Ohio. Weren't they the MAC champions?
No, they were MAC runners-up.
MAC runners-up.
Western Michigan won
That's
the
right.
MAC.
That's right.
Lance Taylor, former walk-on wide receiver at the University of Alabama from Mobile, Alabama. MAC Coach of the Year Broncos won the MAC championship.
Your MAC runners up Miami of Ohio. Then they had Middle Tennessee at home, at Alabama, Maryland at home, at Michigan, Iowa at home, Ohio State at home, at Oregon, Washington at home, at Indiana, Illinois at home, and then you get little old Minnesota on the road to finish the season. Big Ten or not, that's brutal.
That's brutal.
That is a nasty, nasty schedule.
That's tough. That's really tough. So Alabama finishes with the 6th toughest schedule in America.
Over the last 3 years, 2.5 years, do you think Luke Fickle's ever looked at his wife and go, I know you meant well.
Yeah,
But what have you done?
Don't ever
done to
drive
us?
anywhere and tell them I want a job. He
We've
does
been
have a good
cruising,
buyout.
being in the Big 12 conversation. Now we're in the Big 10, and look, they're going to have to pay us millions of dollars to go away and not lose football games anymore.
I'll be honest with you. I did not realize that Florida had the 2nd toughest schedule in America. Just really never put 2 and 2 together there.
It was tough last year, but it ended up
Working out okay for
working out okay. And if I remember, last year's looked tougher, but maybe eased up a little bit as the projections of some of those teams. This year, it seems like it worked in the opposite way.
But it's just littered with SEC. I mean, you got Florida at 2, Arkansas the 5th toughest, Bama 6, Texas 7, South Carolina 8, Kentucky 9, LSU 10, Auburn was 11, Oklahoma was 12, Mississippi State was 13. I mean, once again, I know everybody was ridiculing the SEC during SEC spring meetings when they handed out the brochures about how dominant and how tough it is in this conference. Well, guess what? Those handouts were right.
I do want to ask, where is Ole Miss? If you scroll all the way down, where is Ole Miss going to be on this list?
I'll have to. I only have this first page.
Okay.
So this is the first 25. I do not. Ole Miss was not a top 25 team with a strength of schedule.
You think Lane factored that in his decision to go?
No.
He looked at the cycle.
No, I do not.
Ole Miss, not that they haven't been really good, but they have not gotten the
Beneficiary of some
yeah,
scheduling.
they haven't gotten the schedule that some teams have gotten. Now it runs in cycles, and they will get their fair share, but that's why I asked the question. Because coaches, they do weigh things out. They look at their future schedule, what does roster look like, all kinds of different things. Not saying that would have been one of the driving factors, but something maybe he thought about.
We will continue on. We're live at Social Taco. You got an opportunity to stop by and see us. Dimitri Ravanos is going to join the program at the top of the hour. This is 3-Man Front on Jocks. It is 12:49 coming up at the top of the hour. Meat will join us. Dimitri Ravanos from SEC Unfiltered will be on the program. Nick Kelly, if you missed that interview with Nick earlier in the program from 10:30 to 11, go back and download the Three Man Front podcast. He had some great insight about the Alabama game from Saturday, including an incredible stat that he told us about Ryan Williams and the Alabama football team. The Alabama football team had 6 drops against Georgia. Going into that game, Bama had 14 in all other SEC games this year, and they had 6 against Georgia. It's interesting because Mike Rodak, another friend of the program, you'll hear him on the show later this week. He posted that Alabama's 6 drops against Georgia were tied for the most by an Alabama team in any game since 2016. I'll be honest with you. Maybe it was because there was a bunch of other stuff going on in regards to Alabama not performing very well.
Right.
That maybe I just kind of overlooked the fact that they were dropping a lot of ball. When you were watching the game, did that strike you as the major problem?
No, it didn't. But like you said, I think it was overshadowed by a lot of other things. I said it on Monday, and that was my big takeaway. As I was looking and kind of digesting Alabama's season and heading into the playoff. There's not one aspect, one phase of Alabama right now that I can get fired up about. Now, I know where the potential is on the offensive side. We've seen that. Defense is solid. Did they have their best day on Saturday? No. But they're solid.
But when
they can play winning football.
Yeah, but when you, in that game, they held Georgia to under 300 yards of total offense.
Yeah.
When you do that to an opponent,
sure,
you ought to be in the game. You should not get blown out like they did.
And why were they not in the game, right? The self-inflicted mistakes, you got to eliminate those and come close to playing a really clean football game, which I think that's something that Ty Simpson, do we see it get revved back up? With the injuries, are we too far gone? We got an Alabama fan that's sitting next to us. He's shaking his head no. He doesn't think they get revved back up. But the good news is you got a couple of weeks to reset, get healthy. It's a fresh slate. We saw what Ohio State did. Different example last year, but Ohio State, how dreadful they looked against Michigan. And then they come out and they look like they could have won a Super Bowl against Tennessee.
You're right. Kind of reset. I mean, Alabama's going to have 5 days off between Saturday and when they're going to get back on the practice field this week. So we'll see. Also, Mike Rodak pointed out that Alabama has lost 7 of the 10 games since 2016, which it had dropped at least 4 passes. So you lose 70% of your game if you have that many drop passes in a game. Also, he points out that Ryan Williams had a 13.6% drop per target rate. That is the highest by any Alabama player since 2016. His 16 drops since last season are the 3rd most in all of college football.
Well, again, he's so talented, and does his game have deficiencies? Yes. But, man, got to find ways, get creative, find ways to get him the football, get him involved. If he gets decleated, that's part of the game. But when you think about that Alabama offense, and we thought about it coming into the season, Ryan Williams was a huge part of what we thought we were going to get in season number 2.
Yeah, and Nick Kelly brought it up earlier in the show. You know, the other issue is that Jeremy Bernard's been banged up. You know, he set out one of the games towards the end of the regular season. It was the Eastern Illinois game, but I mean, he's been banged up, so you know, he didn't look 100% watching the entirety of the field on Saturday. You could tell.
Have you been underwhelmed with Ryan Grubb?
I have the second half of the season.
Second half of the season I have too.
Yeah.
I thought it was very vanilla.
I think he peaked at the Georgia game, just like maybe the Alabama football team did.
So what's going to be interesting is now we get another rematch.
I'm talking about the first Georgia game,
yeah,
not the other.
Against an Oklahoma team that Venables, that defensive staff, pretty good, pretty salty, just like the one that you just faced in Kirby Smart. Ryan Grubb, what's your plan?
Well, I will say this. In the Oklahoma game, the offense moved the football.
Oh, they moved the football.
They moved the football against a very good Oklahoma defense. The problem was that they couldn't hold on to the ball. And Ty Simpson threw it to the wrong team. But
so those are the things that Oklahoma is going to be working on. Hey, this is where they got us in the first game. So what's your counter move? And maybe it's, look, this is what's coming. We're just going to execute it and be better. But sometimes that doesn't always lead to success. It'll be very interesting to see the offensive game plan specifically going to Norman. Because it's going to have to be Ty Simpson in that offense. I trust the defense.
I'm not going to waver off what I said. I did a radio interview out in Texas a couple weeks ago, and they asked me straight up, as of right now, if there was one team in the SEC that you would say has the best opportunity to win the national championship, who is it? And I said, it's Georgia. Georgia has impressed me more than anybody from that Alabama game, the way that each and every week, it didn't even matter if players were out hurt, Georgia kept getting better.